Hello guys, I just wanted to do a check-in video and give you some updates on the residents around my bug room at the moment. So the main thing from the last video is going to be my Ghost Mantis communal. As you can see, they've all kind of settled in now, wandering around quite happily. I haven't had any casualties, which is really positive. I've had a few of them molt successfully, which makes me feel the humidity's looking good. They've been living on fruit flies. I do notice they don't seem to really actively hunt the fruit flies. I chuck in loads and they just kind of ignore them, which is weird, but I think they must be eating them in their own time because they all have little fat bellies, so I'm happy that they're getting the sufficient nutrition. And the isopods are doing really well as well. Haven't had any issues with them. They've all kind of retreated down to the bottom now and just living around in the leaf litter. And they really love eating the molts from the mantids. I've noticed that before. I think they like the calcium, and I think they've been keeping on top of the mould, but I have had some outbreaks on some of the branches higher up. There's some sort of greyish looking mould which is a bit annoying, and as you can see at the bottom there's this sort of little yellow spores that appear kind of growing out of some of the leaves, but I'm hoping the isopods will continue to keep that at bay until the tank kind of properly cycles and gets a bit more balanced. So my Heirodula membranacea, Mildred, my giant Asian mantis, is doing excellent. She turned into an adult about 2 or 3 weeks ago now and got her wings. She's absolutely massive but super friendly, always comes out quite willingly and walks around on you. Haven't had any issues with her trying to eat me or bite me or anything. She's quite a sweet girl, to be fair, but she's an absolutely voracious eater. She could probably down like an elephant if I chucked it in her tank, because she just never seems to stop. As you can see in this upcoming clip, she's just smashed 2 locusts and caught one with one arm. I wish I got it on camera because it's well impressive. She was just down in one, saw the other and turned around and just whipped it with her right hand. Really impressive to see her taking down 2 at once. It just shows what a amazing predator these guys can be. And we've got Milton in here just hanging out doing Milton things. Typically when I try and film him, he just decides to hang around on the one part of the tank that I haven't decorated, which is this little door, rather than actually utilising all the branches, but he's close to his final molt now and reaching adulthood. This guy is called Old Man Mantis, due to a picture that I'll put on the screen now because he looks like a grumpy old man, and he's just hanging out in the new Zen garden that I built out of the Marimo moss balls in a previous video. And I just wanted to show, because this was interesting, as you can see there's a little fly on the bottom left there, and I'm going to speed this clip up and I'll show you how slow he moves to stalk his prey. It's fascinating how much patience they have when they're trying to take someone down. This is a Chloroharpax modesta, or Nigerian flower mantis, and by the way he missed him in the end as well after all that stalking. Sphodromantis gastrica, Speedy Boy, or African Mantis I think these are called. He doesn't get too much attention, but he's an awesome little hunter. He can strike from such a far distance. I'll try and get some clips of that in the future. And we have my orchid mantis, who's reached maturity around 2 weeks ago. Looking really cool now, just hanging out. He always seems to just want to chill at the bottom of the tank, which is quite strange. Obviously I've only got fake orchids because my real ones died, unfortunately. But I don't know if it's a humidity thing or what it is, but he always just chills at the bottom. But he seems quite healthy and happy. He always eats and comes out when you want him to. So when you ask him to. I don't think he's quite that intelligent. My curly hair mantis, curly hair tarantula, Tliltocatl albipolusus. She went into hiding for about 3 weeks or so, completely sealed off her tunnel. So I just kind of left her to it because I assumed she was going through a molt or something similar, and sure enough she came out and she was all nice and pristine and shiny with her after her latest molt. and she's been actively hunting hoppers in this video, as you can see, taking those down. So she's quite happy that she's all healthy and got through her molt successfully. I don't know what to do with because her molt is obviously in her burrow. I don't know what to do with that, so I'm not going to dig her burrow up and ruin her little home, but I guess I just leave it in there until I do a clean out, whenever that may be, or rehouse. And my dairy cow isopods I've rehoused into this slightly bigger container after moving the other guys, the tropical woodlice, into the Ghost Mantis communal, and they've been breeding prolifically. I could see there's a lot more than I started with, which is really good. And then the kind of jewel of my collection at the moment is Idolomantis diabolica, or devil's flower mantis. He's probably I think he's about L5 now, I'll have to check, but he's been doing really well, and I've been keeping him at a low humidity as long as I can, and high heat, barely missing at all, to be honest. And he's been thriving. He eats really well, really regularly, and yeah, I just think he's an amazing creature to look at. He's so pretty. I try not to disturb him too much. I would like to get him out, but I don't want to make a habit of it, because I know they are a bit skittish. But so far, no problems at all. I've given him plenty of hanging spots, as I think they do have a habit of dropping. I just hope he makes it through his upcoming molts, whenever that may be. I would love to get him to adulthood, as they just look so impressive. And I've just got a slow-mo clip at the end here. You can just see what a little savage he is. Well done, mate. Well done. Mr. Miyagi. Maybe I should have called him that.